Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update. It is the 1st of February, the day after Fed announcement not changing or doing anything with the interest rate just yet. But it created a lot of volatility, sell-off in S&P 500 that recovered quite nicely at the end. However, as we discussed, we have divergence on the RSI. It is a little bit of a top and reversal formation, not one of the really most strongest one, but we had a doji here the other day and this negative candle yesterday. I think here over the next couple of days, going into next week, we could see a test of the lower rising trend line here and the support around 47 and 93. Here on the weekly, we can see how they actually reached the 161.8, just above 4,900. Divergence on the weekly RSI also. Also on the Nasdaq 100 sell-off yesterday, especially by Alphabet and Tesla. Tesla looks really bad, and you can see you can read my analysis on Tesla yesterday, where it was published on our website and our trading platform. Could dip down below 17,000, possibly lower to 16.5, where we have the 55 moving average coming up. Also here we have RSI divergence. And what is actually interesting here on the weekly, you can see we have top and reversal pattern, a doji-like evening pattern unfolding. It is not confirmed, as there's still today and tomorrow remaining of the week, but it looks quite heavy, and we also have RSI divergence on there on the weekly. So we could be in for a little bit of or maybe even a larger correction. In the European markets, we have EuroStoxx50 being sold off a little bit also this morning. We are also in a correction phase. As you can see here, we have RSI divergence. This value here is lower than over here, but the market was higher. So a move down to around 45.68 support could be seen, possibly a little bit lower. Let's take that, but for now, we are in a correction phase on all indices. We have the DAX also that was rejected at the 17,000, selling off a little bit. Banks in Europe today is not doing too good, I can say. We have a little bit of support here at 16,750 on the DAX, but we could dip down to 16,595, where we have the 55 moving average coming up, and the upper part of cloud that also will offer some support. Amsterdam index still holding on a little bit, could move higher. If it does take out the peak here, then we will see a move up towards the 829, 830 level. Belgian market, fairly unchanged from yesterday. Keep an eye on 3609 support. CAC 40. 7,553 is the support there. After this, we have this is a bearish engulfing, taking out this little one. It's still a little bit uncertain how much it will affect it, but nevertheless, they tried to open higher, closed lower, took out the previous day's gain. 7,553 support this gap area here. We could see a dip down to in an effort to close this gap. But we will do it or not remains to be seen. But if we close below the lower part of the gap, then it will be bearish for CAC. SMI from Switzerland, and also a little bit lower this morning, gapping lower. We are still in an uptrend, but we have a top and reversal in place here. Doji evening star formation. We should see a move down to around 11,100, 11,050, where we have some strong support. In the FX market, we had Euro dollar selling off in early session, in Asian session this morning. A lot of volatility yesterday. Support at 107.30. Could be tested, and I believe it will. As we can see here, RSI below 40. We are in a bearish sentiment, bearish mode. A little bit of support here at the 100 moving average, but it looks fairly heavy at the moment. Cable still range trading with a little heavy side, and we could see 126.10 being tested here shortly. Close below, maybe even the break below could initiate a sell-off down to around 125. Dollar yen massive volatility yesterday, dipping below the 146.65, but managed to close above. Now we are trying again this morning, and I think we could succeed. So we could see a move down to around maybe 145. What is interesting is we have 55 moving average declining here, but we have the 200 coming up here, giving some support. So we could move the range from up here and possibly down to around 145 here in the coming weeks. What is also interesting is that there's no RSI divergence, indicating we could see dollar yen after a correction moving back higher, but it remains to be seen. It's still a little bit up there. Look out for what will happen there at the support. Euro yen currently trading well below the support at 158.55, and I think it will break it. We could dip down to test the lower rising trend line and the lower part of the cloud area. Let's see if it will drop further below. If we do get RSI to close below 40, well, then we are in a negative sentiment, and we could see further selling below this rising trend line right there. Aussie yen, as we speak, below support at 95.80. Massive sell-off yesterday, follow through today. Currently also below the lower rising trend line. It is not as clear-cut as you can say. It's not as precise as the horizontal trend lines. It's merely a guideline, but it's still interesting. We could see a sell-off down to the levels around here and 95, where we also have the 200 moving average coming up, give us some support. Currently, the RSI below 40, so we are in a negative sentiment as it looks. So keep an eye on where it will close today. Sterling yen, also sell off yesterday, falling through today. We could see a move down to around 184.30. Little bit of support around D32, retracement on 185. But we have the 55 moving average. We had 100 coming up there, so we could see a little further selling down to around these levels. Then I think we will see a little bit of a rebound. Aussie dollar, also quite interesting level, currently testing the 65.20 support. We are below the cloud, we are below all moving averages, we are in a negative sentiment on RSI. I think it will continuing lower towards 64, possibly lower here in coming days and weeks. Finally, on the dollar index, seems to crawling slowly higher. We are in a positive sentiment, so I think we will see a move towards 104.27 resistance if it can close above the cloud, and it is not unlikely a move up to around there. But here we have the 100 moving average also kind of giving a little bit of resistance, but the 104.27 I believe we could see the dollar index move to if it can get its act together. RSI certainly does indicate we could move. Gold fairly unchanged, still in this range here between 2,000 and up to 2,064. Couldn't really break the 2,055 yesterday, and I think we will be caught range bound here for the next few days. Silver, little bit lighter in today's trading, following also yesterday's light trading, sliding back towards the 22.50. We are still in a negative sentiment. We are in a negative trend, so it looks fairly heavy. Copper also failed to follow through with its strong upwards move here last week. Sell off yesterday, falling through today. We could dip down to around the 382, where we have the 55 moving average and the cloud giving some support. So a little bit of weakness, but I think we will move slightly higher here in coming weeks. Not really much to say on the energy front. As we talked about yesterday, WTI got rejected at the other part of the cloud. We have the 100 moving average coming down. Sorry, I think we will see WTI and Brent oil also, which we're going to look at in a minute, slowly sliding lower towards the 55 moving average at 73, 72.5. Brent, as you can see here, rejected at the 84.75. It did close above the cloud, but it seems to be a false break back below the 100 moving average. So I think we will see it sliding lower towards the 78, 77.5. Finally, let's have a look at yields. US 10-year yields, massive sell-off or drop-off because there was massive buying in the future. We're going to look at that. Yields closed below 391. Support is currently hovering around it, but we are in a negative trend. We are in a negative sentiment, and we could see a move towards 378, 370 level. However, if we do look at the future, it did break the upper falling trend line, but it didn't break above 112, 26 or 27. That is key resistance. We are in a positive sentiment, so we should see a move higher on the future, i.e. lower yields. Let's just very quickly look at the Fibonacci retracement there. We're currently trading around the 61.8, and we have the 786 at exactly 112.26. So keep an eye on those levels. All right, that's all for today. Look out for analysis, deep analysis on the dollar, euro dollar, Aussie dollar, and also we'll have an analysis out on Meta and Amazon later today. Thank you very much for listening. Have a nice day and happy trading.